BYB Bare Knuckle heads back to the UK on November 9th for BYB 33 at the Hangar in Wolverhampton, West Midlands. The Emperor of BYB, Marvelous Marko Martinjak, one of Europe's most experienced fighters in the Mighty Trigon, takes on undefeated star Brad Scott for the BYB Super Cruiserweight Police Gazette Diamond Belt. While former BKB multiple division champion Dan Podmore looks to make it 2-0 against the Cockroach Ryan Barrett when they face off for the inaugural BYB Bridgerweight Police Gazette Diamond Belt. Plus, former BYB heavyweight champion Hurricane Ike Villanueva makes his UK debut. Visit BYBExtreme.com today for tickets and information.
Welcome to the Original Fighter's Voice. I'm your host, Don Mcguire. I'm being joined by the only one from the Fighting News, Mr. Stephen Rothman. I know it's an early show for you here in America, but hey, man, we cannot pass up the champ, the one and only Marko Marvelous Martinjak. How you doing, champ?
Doing very, very good, man. How are you? How are you two guys?
Bro, you know what? Having you on my show is a feather in my cap. We've been trying to make this happen for quite some time. You're a tremendous bare knuckle fighter. You're a worldwide sensation and growing. The sport loves you, brother. How does it make you feel knowing that not only your country, but the world loves what you've brought into the Mighty Trigon and the world of bare knuckle?
It's simple. I'm just the ordinary guy from the other side of the town who never be the singer of the Beatles or the Stones, you know. And I stay on the ground. When Hedge knocked me out in the first fight, he put me on the ground, and I knew that I'm not invincible like I thought I am after 5 years of how do I say in a pause because of things that happened to me in the personal life. And when I beat Chet Keddy, I thought, okay, I continued where I stopped 5 years ago. Now 7, knocking everybody out. But then Jerome Hedge laid me on the ground, and then knew I have to be humble, don't be cocky, and that is the reason why I'm now with professional boxing and bare knuckle. I'm 5 wins in a row, all knockouts.
Yes. Now BYB is right. BYB 33 is right around the corner. You're set to face undefeated Brad Scott. You know, Marko, how do you mentally prepare heading into this highly anticipated fight?
Listen, for me, I was a world champion like 6-7 times. I don't know. I lost the count. So many titles behind me, and for me, it's just another day in the office. He's just sorry to interrupt. He's just one step more to immortality, to my name and my family name stay for ages, decades, and maybe centuries, like with Joe Sullivan's.
Yeah. You know, we talked before we went live, because I'm transparent, you know, about Jerome Hatch and others that you faced along your walk. You know, how do you stay focused and motivated, being that this is a title fight for the Triple Diamond Police Gazette World Belt? You know, how do you stay motivated? Because you've already created a name for yourself. You've already beat the top people in this industry. And now here you're set to face an undefeated Brad Scott, you know, for the title. How do you personally motivate yourself moving forward, brother?
Don, this is what I do the best. Fighting. The God gave me the talent, and I every day in my training camp, or when I'm out of my training camp, I how they say, you bruise the diamond, you know. Every day I look to be better, faster, and than there before. The only true enemy of me is myself. Nobody. Except on my opponents, when we face off in the ring, Trigon, then that he's my enemy because he wants to steal the bread from my table, from my family table, and my only way is to search and destroy.
I like that. You know, where do you see Scott's weaknesses, and how will you exploit them, my brother? I mean, I know you
can
can't
talk
tell your
about
whole.
that.
Yeah, I know
But
you can't explain your whole game plan.
listen. Let's talk like this. This is bare knuckle boxing. It's not bare knuckle mixed martial arts.
No,
First
I
of
already
all,
know
I am a
that.
school boxer. I have over 400 fights
Yeah.
in kickboxing, Muay Thai, boxing, and stuff like that. I had also one MMA fight, but like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think that his biggest strength is that he maybe that clinch because of his wrestling background. Maybe he's stronger there, but everything else is on my side.
Well, I stand behind you, bro. I think you're one of the best bare knuckle fighters in the world. So I agree with you there, you know, but every time you step up, it's a new challenge. Every time you step up, it's somebody greater in class. That speaks volumes about what you do and what you bring to the sport, my friend. You know, in my eyes and in my heart, you're a true champion because a lot of people will get up there where you're at and want to fight people below them. You're constantly looking to fight the better opponent. Is it because you do want to create such a legacy for your family, my brother?
You don't make name on the buckets.
Yeah, right.
You don't make name on the bucket. You make name and your legacy on the best in the sport. I am the best of the best. I am the champ. So if you want to be the best, you have to take out the best. And I 1 month ago, I had my wedding, and my friend Dragan, who is from Serbia, and he lives in England 25 years, like right now, and he came for my wedding. He is working in security for BYB in England, and before BKB. And me and my father went to dinner before my wedding, and my father told him, "Listen, with this head, as long as he wants to be the champion, he will be the champion." That is true. As long as I have a passion, love, and head for this sport, I will be champion. Nobody will take this from me, because I don't fight. We call that shablona. I don't know how do you call that when you are programmed to do things. I am programmed also, but I do fights on my instinct. You know.
Yes, sir. Steve?
Yeah, so you have 10 knockouts. Is this correct?
10 wins, 10 knockouts.
Out of those 10 knockouts, which one stands out the most in your head?
I think that against Chet Kelly and against Greenwood. Both of them going to sleep, so.
Yeah.
With no disrespect to those guys, I talked with the Chad, I talked with the Greenwood also. We have friends, and there is no bad blood between us. But those two knockouts, I think they are the best.
And we're about 3 weeks off from your next fight. What's your daily routine before the fight? These 3 weeks. What does it look like? Your daily routine.
My daily routine is like 2 weeks, still hell, training hell, and that week when I fight, only one training per day. I think on the Thursday week coming in England, maybe I will do little in the evening training, little pads, little just to overheat myself, sweat myself. In the morning also little bit of sweating because of weigh-ins, and that's it. Relaxing, take a ceremonial weigh-ins, and on the day of the fight, I also do a little training, stretching myself to how do you say, to leave to unleash the muscles so they can be so they are not so stiff. And I like to do a little stretching, little shadow boxing, and that's it.
And how's your weight coming? How's your weight cut?
I'm good. I don't cut more. I start this camp with like 95 kilos, you know, and we were supposed to fight on 93, so 205 pounds, but they changed the categories. They're now like in professional boxing, so only water. I need only cut my water, and that's it.
That's it. So you're
the food. Yeah, the food is not a problem. I can eat little, but I'm thirsty because I sweat very much. I lose in a training like 5 pounds in one trip. I burn like 700 calories, and I'm always thirsty.
Yeah, and being that BYB and bare knuckle is a new sport, more in the USA than Croatia for sure. How do you see the sport evolving?
When I first came in 2022, when I first came to BKB event in London, I didn't fight. I was a trainer. I had one fighter who had in BKB two fights, but he both lost. Unfortunately, the first one he should go draw, but second he fight George Hilliard, and George is more experienced than he was, and he knocked him out. But when I saw that, the sport was really evolving. The development was big, and especially when I saw in Pembroke Pines how BYB have a show, not in London, in Pembroke Pines when I fought Hedge, I see this, man. This is on one level up.
And now that they've merged, it's 10 levels up.
Yeah. Only the best of the best will merge from that expansion.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, Marko, do you feel any added pressure stepping up in a world title fight against such a formidable opponent as in Brad Scott?
Listen, pressure is always here, but not pressure from the fight, pressure from myself. I expect the win because I used to get winning. You know, the winning is a matter of habit. Just like a losing. If you're losing too much, it starts to be a habit. Then you don't get nervous because of that. But when you make a good run in the winning, that is also a habit. So you are used to win. And I feel pressure just before myself because I don't have pressure because of fans, because of my family, just because of myself, because I don't want to disappoint myself. I want to present the best of me in that Trigon because I work hard. I work my balls, believe me. I train twice per day. Those guys who work and train once per day, they have to put like 200% in their training camp. I put 200% in every training, not one. Every training. Is it relaxed training or is it intensive training? I put 200% in that. So just pressure that I don't do my game plan, and that is my biggest fear of myself.
Yeah. You know, let me ask you, you know, because how would you, this is a kind of a double-edged question, but how would you set bare knuckle apart from conventional boxing, my brother, considering you came from the boxing world? How would you set bare knuckle apart?
How do you mean apart?
From conventional boxing.
Listen, in professional boxing, you can put double deck. You can cover yourself up. Here, no, brother. If I hit you on the finger, if I hit you in the muscle, here, you will feel that. You will feel that also in the professional boxing and amateur boxing, in every combat sport. But when I hit you with my bare fist, it's different. Especially me, who is precise, explosive, and fast. So when you put the explosiveness and speed with the way I am, you get the power.
Yeah, that's tremendous. You know, because I always thought about that because, you know, you come from glove boxing and, you know, you step into a world where it's a bare fist, and a lot of people don't understand. You know, you look at some fighters, they'll punch other fighters in the shoulders, and it's to take away their arms. I mean, you do that in regular boxing, but with a fist, the progression is going to be that much faster. So you can take out a bare knuckle faster. You can hurt a bare knuckle fighter faster than you can with a gloved fist because you're going to have more damage to the shoulder, to the hips, whatever you attack at that moment. You know, Marko, I've watched your career. And I think it's tremendous, man. And I'm so excited to see you, you know, going to be at BYB 33. When I saw this name on the card, I was like, this is going to be lit. I don't even care about any other fight on the card. This is just going to be great because I know what you've been through. I saw the wars that you've gone through with other tremendous fighters. And my man, you are the truest form of a bare knuckle fighter on the rise right now in this sport. And I think BYB should be very grateful that, you know, they have acquired you and that you love the promotion. You know, I'm going to get to some questions here. My brother out of Drayton, Canada, Brian Holderson, says good day to all of us. And then my adopted grandfather, Mr. Artie Lamparella, says, good morning, gentlemen. Starting early, but it's always good. And then one of your friends, Marko, but I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, but he just says Marko.
It's Joško. You call him Joško. He's my good friend from Split. Second biggest tier town city in Croatia. That city is on the coast of Croatia.
Well, nice to meet you, Joško. Please join the show again.
You said good.
And then a champion from just won the Police Gazette Triple Diamond Belt, Mr. Harrison Gigliotti says, let's go, Marko.
Peace, brother.
And then Joško, I don't even know what he says there, bro. You have big training worker.
He said, let's go, Marko, big training worker.
You know, how does it feel, Marko, to have your country, the world, believe in you? You know, and then...
Listen, sorry, in my country, because of my past, let's say 50-50. For 150, I'm still a villain, the criminal, the guy who was in prison. But the other half, I'm a hero because before prison, I was also BKB champion and the world champion in kickboxing. I was Cruiserweight champion, which now is Bridgerweight champion. I was six wins and 1 loss before prison. And then you see you are on the top, and in one moment you're down, below down, -0, -0. And I didn't want to come back to fight. I didn't want to come back. I was planning to be coach, the trainer, to have my own boxers. But when I went with Luka on BKB 2022, the passion, the love, and the heart said you have to come back, and I signed that. Then the contract, and 3 months later, I won super middleweight world title, BKB and Police Gazette. So to the other half, to them, I got a lot of messages that I'm their idols. They look up on me because they're also struggling. You know, every about of us have some struggles in life. Is it money? Is it family? Is it job? Is it just simply that is normal process of every human being to have problems. So if you overcome the problems, you are the man. You have to overcome those. So I'm glad that I am inspiration to the people, and for those 50% who doesn't like me, I say fuck them. I don't like them also.
Before we get back to Steve, Joško says he gives the best. He is head for that. Greetings to you all in the studio. Well, thank you, my friend. And then
this is my father.
Oh, it's a true honor to have you on my show, sir. I greatly appreciate that. And then Joško says, Marko is a special head for fighting. And then he says, I am from south of Croatia city of Split. You know, Marko, I'm going to hand the mic to Steve, but it's an honor to see what type of correlation and walk you've built for yourself in the world of bare knuckle. It's an honor for me to have such a humble champion on my show, you know, and even though it's early for me, I never get up this early. I'll be honest with you, but I'll get up every time for you, Marko, and anybody that BYB sees relevant to put on my show. I can't wait for BYB 33. Steve?
As a seasoned fighter in BYB, BKFC, BYB, and BKB.
BKB.
Yeah. What was your hardest challenge?
The first fight against Michael Ferry, because I didn't know what this is, and when I start to find my rhythm, and when I start to had initiative in that fight. He punched me in my lungs because he was like 15 kilos heavier than me, and he gassed me out with that one punch. And the second fight, the hardest fight, was against Travis Dickinson in Liverpool. That was his debut, and my debut in light heavyweight, like 95. That is like 210 pounds, I think, because I wasn't prepared at all. I wasn't training, so
Yeah.
But I said, luck, give me the luck, cuddle me with that punch when I broke his orbital bone, and they stopped the fight. And I said, the luck saved me. Because in the second round, if I didn't do that in the first round, he would kill me. He was very dangerous.
Yeah, and how'd you overcome this getting punched right there and you couldn't breathe?
I was rolling on the canvas. The referee was too early deceased, Barrington Peterson. He gave me standing count, but I said, "Don't count. I can't get up, man."
You just couldn't breathe. Yeah, you got the
No.
Yeah.
It's like 50 kilos. I was like 101 kilo. He was like 150, 160. So it's a big difference.
Yeah. Nice.
You know, Marko, this day is...
Sorry, I just have to let my dog out of the room. Sorry,
Oh, no
guys.
worries. Do what you gotta do, brother.
Šefica hoće van, pa sam je pustio, iz sobe, pa sam je pustio. Sorry for that, guys.
No worries.
You know, I like to talk about legacies because I'm one that has been in this industry for 40 years. And to sit back and see what you've accomplished on your walk is tremendous in all avenues of life. If you had to say what part of your legacy means the most, has meant the most, and how did it change Marko Martinjak, what would that be, my brother?
Legacy of my life.
Yeah. Your most important additive to your legacy, sir?
My family.
I love that because we all have to be grounded in some way, and we can't move forward in life without people that we love and cherish. You know, I often tell people that my life isn't complete unless I have my wife and my son. Without my wife and my son, then there is no me. Would you say that's a fair assumption to say that your family is the reason you strive so hard to succeed?
Yes.
You know,
I want to make them proud. I already make them proud, but I want to make them prouder more.
Yeah. You know,
and I want to ensure them. Sorry to interrupt. I want to ensure them good life to my daughters, my wife, my family. You know, I want to open my gym someday. So my wife is in fitness like 20 years. She has more knowledge than 90% of those bodybuilders. So I think that if we manage, and I know we will manage because we both are working on that, to open our gym, and we will have much work, and we will live good.
I love that you said that, bro. See, the whole premise of my show, yeah, we're here to talk about your fight with Brad Scott. We're here to talk about BYB 33, but I also want people to get to know you. You know, the great part about getting to know you is people already know you're a champion. People already know you can fight. But do they really know Marko Martinjak? And see, that's what I love when you talk about your family, because it shows the world that you're no different than us. You just have a different ability when you step into the Trigon. You know, I know your father was on here, and I'm kind of a sentimental old type of person, but if you had to say a special message to your father about life and the tools that he's given to you to succeed, what would you like to say to your father in words of appreciation?
I can only say thank you for everything, for he did for me and my sister, he and my mother. They are both alive, and every weekend we are there for lunch, to hang out, to making fun of each other. And my wife likes to go there. My stepdaughter likes to go there, and we are a special family. We are.
That's beautiful, my man. You know, because what you've done in this sport and other genres of this sport is formidable. You know, but if you just take the BYB aspect of it, you've beaten 3 of the top competitors in this organization. Now you're set to face an undefeated Brad Scott. You know you have no fear, my brother. I know you have no fear, and I know you don't want to overlook your opponent, and I know you don't talk crap. But if you had to send a message, per se, to Brad Scott, what he should expect at BYB 33, what would that message be, my friend?
When we first find out that we're fighting each other, when we knew I think we knew 1 month before the fight was promoted on the socials, and when he put our poster, I just sent him a comment on the picture. I said to him that I want him very best. I wish him good camp with no injuries, because I want the very best Brad Scott in that Trigon that night, because he will get the very best of me.
That's great. Steve?
Yeah.
I love that.
Marko, where did Marvelous your nickname come from? Where was the first time?
That was given from Stephen Miller, who is also early deceased. He died, I think, 2018. He was also involved in BKB. He also fought, I think, Michael Ferry. And somebody on BKB fan page put what should they give me the nickname? And he said Marvelous, and everybody agree with that, because when I fought Michael Ferry, nobody didn't give him such a fight like me. When I was in the hotel, my friend Billy from Scotland, he came to me and he said to me, Michael was sitting in the locker room like 2 hours with his towel and going like this. What happened? Because I cut him, I opened him. Nobody didn't give him the fight like I did. So because of that, they gave me the nickname Marvelous. And the Steven who was the promoter of socials of BYB, he gave me, when I won third fight against Hedge, he called me the Emperor.
The Emperor, the Marvelous Emperor.
The Emperor of BYB Marvelous Marko Martinjak. So nice. Because of that, it's triple M.
The triple M.
Yeah, like Gennady Golovkin, triple G.
Exactly, MMM.
Yes.
I'm going to jump in here real quick. You guys must be real brothers, because he says he knows what he's doing and how wants to make a life great guy. Great person and fighter and friend. Then he also says, I think all the time he spent in the gym, now he married, but I think he's always on training, isn't it? So people read that and understand. He's from a foreign country. He's trying to do the best that he can to put his English up there. And I'm not disrespecting him. It's beautiful to see that the world can communicate each other because of Marko. And I love what your friends are saying. He also says that Marko is a big joker, and you can always smile with him.
Yeah, when I fought in Zagreb here 1 month ago, my father wasn't on my fight. Like last fight, he was on 2015 in kickboxing, and when his mother came when he saw how I'm making jokes of everybody, he asked me, are you like that when you fight bare knuckle in England and America? And my coach says he is 5 times worse. He killed them all, with jokes and stuff. I'm just a relaxed guy. Because of that, Mike Goldberg loves me. When Mike see me, he drops off the laugh.
You know, my buddy Paul Driscoll out of Drayton, Canada, he says, you will have to change your name in court now like Marvin Hagler did. Because, you got Marvelous Marvin Hagler. So,
Yeah, I know.
that's a tremendous nickname they gave you. And I like the Emperor, too, because if you look at, you do got Marvelous Marvin Hagler, and then you have the Emperor, Fedor Emelianenko. So they've really given you two of the best nicknames in combat sports history. That's quite a legacy in itself, and I didn't really think about that when we had correlations with BYB and setting up the show because they do call you the Emperor. Marko, you're a very humble man, and your friends seem to, really share that and emulate that with the listeners. I fell in love with who you were as a warrior when I first started seeing your fight. Coming up in this sport wasn't easy. You came up in the beginning of the sport, the recreation of the sport in the United States, but you had already been overseas, in this aspect. How different is it fighting bare knuckle in the USA compared to fighting bare knuckle in Europe, my brother?
Listen, every time I fight on enemy territory. I don't fight at home. I fight in England. We fought in Dubai, and I fought in America. But was very special for me in America when I fought. It was like 15 my people from, like 10 of them came from Croatia. 5 of them lived there, so they were on the fights. And when they start cheering for me, the All Americans in Pembroke Pines started also cheering for me against their fighter, American fighter. Also, I have a huge fan base in England, Wales, and Ireland. Listen, I always talk with my fans. I always message when they message me. I message them back, so I don't have problem with that. I don't. You have fighters who, when you send a message, they say just see and who don't give a fuck about nothing. But I'm not like that. I said in a couple of interviews, maybe I will see after fights. I got like 500 messages last time after when I knocked out Greenwood. And a couple of them I saw 5, 6, 7 days after the fight, and you just can't see everything in that moment of celebration, of insanity. You knock out the guy. That is the best feeling when your hand is up. And so when you try to represent the somebody who doesn't fight and who is involved in another sport. This is like a drug. You are like a drug addict to that. For me, this feeling is better than sex.
I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, I really do. What I was trying to get at is you look at Liam Rocky Reese and Harrison Gigliotti. They just both won over there. Now, when me and Steve interviewed Liam Rocky Reese, he was a very intellectual individual. What I love about his train of thought is he said, I'm not used to the dirty clinch. I'm from Wales. I'm not used to the dirty clinch. So he went and took jiu-jitsu just so he could understand hand locks and, understand the dirty clinch. This is an advantage for you, Marko, because a lot of European fighters don't know the dirty clinch. They don't understand dirty boxing. And you've also fought in the Trigon, which most of the BKB fighters haven't done. So do you see this being an unfair advantage, or do you see it? I mean, it's a positive advantage for me. How do you look at it?
With this fight, this is my 4th fight in Trigon. I'm going to be the most experienced guy from Europe who fight in Trigon. Me and Barry Jones are first with 3 fights. Now I have 4 fights, so I'm the first. But everybody forgets that I was a state champion in Muay Thai.
Yes.
So I know how to clinch. I was world champion in kickboxing. I know how to clinch, but But I will listen. I'm not that guy who will allow to come to the clinch fighting.
Yeah. But see, what I'm saying is what I think is probably on my end, but they're not used to the dirty clinch in the UK. I've interviewed fighters, and so you're accustomed to it. I mean, you may not like it, you may not utilize like utilizing it, but you have that advantage over these fighters. You already understand the dirty clinch. You already understand the Trigon. So this is something that will benefit you moving forward. Because a lot of these guys have fought in the squared circle. None of them have fought in the Trigon. The Trigon's a new thing over there as we just acquired BKB. So when you look at your record fighting in the Trigon, being used to fighting in America with a dirty clinch and things that we're allowed to do here that aren't allowed over there, now you have an advantage over a lot of the fighters in the world. And I don't see them catching up with your ability. I don't see them catching up with your ability.
I must disagree with you.
Okay, that's fair.
But let's go like this. Most of the European guys, they are accustomed to use just boxing. American fighters, they're 70% of them are from mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
So Brett Scott is from mixed martial arts. He's also used to clinch, so I will not have advantage in that. Because of that, I will not allow to come to clinch.
I got you.
And that is the thing. European fighters, they fight. I didn't watch the show last weekend, but yesterday I was on one national television who bought BYB so the people can watch on television. Sorry, and they said to me when there was a clinching, most of the guys are just holding, no dirty boxing. And that is a crucial benefit for the American fighters who come from mixed martial arts, not for European guys. Why? Let's go like this. In the history, when the BYB and BKB start alliance, how many fighters from Europe fight in BYB? Me, James Connelly, Scott McHugh, Barry Jones. I think like 10 fighters.
Yeah.
10 fighters. And how many fighters from BYB come to the regular BKB ring? None. Except Chad Kelly twice against me and Anthony Holmes. And I don't know anybody else.
Tommy Turner.
Oh, no. Tommy didn't fight in BKB ring. Tommy fight in BYB ring last year when I fought against Ketch.
You're right.
So I know just for Chad Kelly. Why? Because American fighters like dirty boxing. For me, that is not fight. That is like you put two pit bulls in the and they hitting. That is funny. I don't see any point in dirty boxing. But when you have ability like me, who is school boxer, I have Eastern Europe School of Boxing behind me. I will not allow to come to clinch, especially when we fight. When the dirty boxing is allowed, I will not allow. If it's normal, if it's normal rules that the clinch, that there isn't no dirty boxing, I would clinch. That is normal. If you get hit, you got clinch to take a couple of seconds to recuperate yourself. But in dirty boxing, no. Why should I risk my head or my health because of that? I will not allow that.
I like that. And like your buddy Yasko says, he said, Bennett was a world Muay Thai champion. Marko had him KO. I was in his corner. I get where you're coming from, champ, because you were a world Muay Thai champion. So it's like, I understand your train of thought now, because it's like, why am I going to let somebody grip me and cause damage to me when I already can stay back? So I like that you like the original, path of bare knuckle. You want to go in there because a lot of people don't understand. Just right prior to 2014, Europe has always never had the dirty clinch. Europe has always been. Julian Lane was over there back in those days, won a world championship.
Yeah, but Julian Lane wasn't BYB fighter. He was BKB fighter.
Yes, and I understand.
And also Melvin Gouliard was in fight Jimmy Sweeney.
Yeah, I'm talking about before BYB. And so
okay, sorry.
I loved the aspect of the old European style, because You do get a lot of real fights. You get tremendous warriors, but this is the new era and we all have to change. Everybody changes. But I like your thought premise that I don't have to change because I'm already onto that. I'm already onto that. You come at me, I'm going to grab you, and then I'm going to get my distance. I'm not going to fight you in the pocket. I'm going to fight you from outside and destroy you like a true warrior. That speaks volumes of you, my brother. I like that. I've never had a bare knuckle fighter on my show that says that they don't like the dirty clinch, and I respect you for that because it's so true. Why take the risk of getting knocked out when you can keep your distance and pick your opponent apart? You have the skill set, you have the mindset, and you have the ability. This is what I love about just openly talking with fighters, because you get a true perspective of their thought of the sport, not just ours. We get to live it through your eyes, through your wars. So to hear your stories is truly defining, wouldn't you say, Steve?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, when Marko had fought Hatch, a lot of the fighters wouldn't want a rematch, after getting beat like that. And here he comes back and beats him twice in a row. Yeah. It's an amazing story that Marko has. I'm just curious, like, what do you do, Marko, outside of training for boxing? Like, what kind of hobbies do you do other than this?
Walking with my dog and my wife. We go. Now it's cold here, but we don't go. They go like 6-7 kilometers. We have here we have a river and we have a artificial lake. When the people on that lake, people in the summer, they can swim and like you on the coast. Yeah. But you have a river. You have river which like this is river, this is one, and this is second. This is like you can walk here. It's you have a path. And everybody walk dogs, and we go there. I run there also. I play PlayStation, watching movies, spend time with my family. But listen, after every fight, I take one week of vacation, and that is it's not like vacation. I also go for walking, but then I start training once per day, because every time I come to training camp, I come ready. I work on my static strength of my something. You always have muscle fibers, and you also have micro traumas in your elbows, and this is the contact sport. You have to have a little traumas in your shoulders and stuff like that. Because of that, last week, in the week of the fight, we don't do heavy training. Just relaxing, putting down the weight, or having the weight, and that's it. But from outside of the gym, I'm just normal guy. I'm a family guy. I'm a normal guy. I go with my friends on a.
What's your favorite game?
I go on the lunches with my friends. Right now, I'm playing Need for Speed Unbound. I just get addicted to the cars. I didn't like it in the first time, but now I'm addicted. But last I passed was Ghost of. I like samurais. My whole left arm is in except my daughter's name. My whole left arm is in a Japanese culture. Katana, samurai, wolf, and stuff. And so my favorite game is Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, nice.
I love that. I turned into I got the same game you do on my PS5 too, bro. I wasn't really into racing, but I put it on there, and and I got the PlayStation Plus, and all of a sudden they give you a bunch of free games to check out, and I'm I'm stuck on that game, bro. But we're gonna go to the commercial, and when we come right back,
BYB Bare Knuckle heads back to the UK on November 9th for BYB 33 at the Hangar in Wolverhampton, West Midlands. The Emperor of BYB, Marvelous Marko Martinjak, one of Europe's most experienced fighters in the Mighty Trigon, takes on undefeated star Brad Scott for the BYB Super Cruiserweight Police Gazette Diamond Belt. While former BKB multiple division champion Dan Podmore looks to make it 2-0 against the Cockroach Ryan Barrett when they face off for the inaugural BYB Bridgerweight Police Gazette Diamond Belt. Plus, Former BYB heavyweight champion Hurricane Ike Villanueva makes his UK debut. Visit BYBExtreme.com today for tickets and information.
Man, I just love that commercial. I don't know why, but when I sit back and I look at every card, they just keep getting better and better. But I gotta admit, this card right here, I mean, I am so excited because I've seen the destruction that you bring as a tremendous warrior in the Trigon, and this card is just stacked. But I'm honestly looking forward to your fight, Marko. To me, this is going to set the precedence for the rest of the fighters that follow your footstep in the cruiserweight division. This is going to be tremendous. This is going to be probably, I'll go out and say it, I think it's going to be fight of the night, if not fight of the year, because I know what you bring to the Trigon. I know what you bring to the squared circle, and I know you're one hell of a warrior. Steve, what are your thoughts for Marko going into this war?
Yeah, Marko's like one of the original OGs of BYB. I've been watching him, since 16, BYB 16. Now we're on 33.
Yeah, listen. I am the only fighter in the roster from the beginning of the BKB, from the BKB 1.
Yeah.
I am the only one who left.
Nice. Yeah. So that's amazing. And there's a lot of accolades in those last, amount of fights you've had. This guy's a champ. Marko is definitely a champ. And, when I saw him at BYB 16 and, here I'm going to watch him at BYB 33. It's just amazing to me that, I get to enjoy a fighter, throughout the BYB series,
That is still progressing. That has taken out the top opponents that they've put in his path. You're unstoppable right now, brother. And I think it's tremendous. And it's a beautiful thing because you're a humble warrior. I love humble warriors. What would you like to say to Mike Vasquez and the entire BKB, BYB family now that we're all one? What would you like to say to Mike, Joe Brown, and all the people that have correlated this path for you, my brother?
Me and Joe have one arrangement. When we started the BKB, when I started Bare Knuckle, he said to me, "You start with me, you finish with me." So now I have a new contract, 6. I am the only fighter who got 6 fights contract on a 2 years deal. I'm only one. That is how Mike and Joe appreciate me. And Mike made one beautiful gesture for my wedding, and I said to him, "Big thank you, love you, brother." And he's my brother, and Joe is my brother. They're fine gentlemen, and for everything they done for me, they have only thanks.
What would you like to say to the? America knows you, but you're more well known overseas. Actually, you're Mr. Worldwide. But what would you like to say to? What would you like to say to the people of the UK on your homecoming at BYB 33?
That they're gonna enjoy. Listen, I comment with my father every fight card. Not because of me, but when I am on it, that is one of the hell of the card. One hell of the card. You. I don't know the couple of the guys who are fighting, but Ike Villanueva is fighting. We were in Jacksonville together. He's my homie. He's my homeboy, and I can't wait to BYB came to Zagreb next year, so I can guest him in my house for my father's barbecue. We also agree on that. He's my homeboy. This is my stepdaughter, my Mahni. Mahni sličik ima. This is. that is Ana.
Hey, Anna.
Pozdravljaju se. She can hear you because of the earphones.
Oh,
And this is going to be one spectacular show, I believe, in the regie of the Marvelous. And this is my wife.
tell her it's very nice to meet her. Tell her it's very nice to meet her. Marko,
Kaže da jako lijepo je te upoznati. Pozdravio.
you know, you were truly everything I expected on my show. You were truly just a down to earth, humble human being. And bye bye.
She doesn't want to leave.
She doesn't have to.
Well, no.
But
She
see,
doesn't
this-
understand. Listen, she speaks English, but she doesn't understand. Daj upali, hoćeš igrati PlayStation? Ajde upali si PlayStation. Ajde. Igraj tamo robota. She's going to play PlayStation.
Okay, well, we're going to
Zna
wrap
ona.
things up. But I just really wanted to say that, you know, through all my experiences, my talkings with you and watching your career, you're a breath of fresh air because it's like you don't put anybody down, you don't degrade the sport.
Možeš.
You don't degrade
Sorry.
the sport. No, you're all right. You don't degrade the sport, and listening to your friends and seeing what people say about you and understanding who you are. It's an honor and a profound experience for me to have you on the show today.
Thank
You
you.
truly are different. You know, I've had many world champions and many legends on my show, but none as humble as you. You know, your parents have done a tremendous job, and I'm honored to call you my brother, and I'm even more honored to have you on my show. And I don't say these types of things unless I mean them, but keep creating greatness in this world because there's a lot of athletes that look up to you. You're a great role model for a lot of people. And I, for myself, appreciate what you bring to the sport of bare knuckle. I'm going to toss the mic to Steve, and I'm going to let him finish things up. But, Champ, go out there and show the world why you're the emperor,
Thank you, brother.
why you're marvelous.
brother.
You know it, brother. God bless.
Thank you.
Steve?
I
You're welcome.
agree with you, Don, on many aspects. You know, we've been watching Marko for quite some time now, and he's become, you know, royalty in this company. And, you know, that's why he got a 6-fight deal contract because, you know, they want him around. They want to see him. He's explosive. His first round knockouts are impeccable, and I really enjoy watching him fight. And you know, I'm going to tune in to when the fight's somewhere else, not on USA TV, because to watch him. You know, so I wish him luck, Marko. You know, you're a true warrior, man, and I'm excited to watch you fight.
I like to call myself, I am a ballerina who hit like a truck.
I love that. That is righteous, bro. You know what? Thank you again, man. You made my day. Like I said, I don't like doing shows at noon, but I will for you, Marko. But, you know, honestly, this interview has been tremendous. You're just a great soul, man. And a ballerina that hits like a truck. What better way to go out, right, Steve?
Yeah.
Marko, I wish you the best of luck at BYB 33 in Wolverhampton. I know the world is yours, brother. Go out and show the world who you truly are. Are there any final words that you would like to leave with your sponsors, friends, or family, or social media sites?
I just have to say thank you for my family, my friends, my sponsors who support me. Thank you guys for hosting me, and can't wait till we have another session somewhere in the future.
Oh,
sir.
most definitely. I'd love to have you back on the show again. You're awesome. Go spend time with your family before it gets too late, my friend. You have a good night. And thank you again, Marko.
Sorry, thank you, brothers, and see you. Cheers.
All right, cheers. Well, what did you think of that? You know, I think it was cool that he disagreed with me.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yasko, thank you so much. And greetings from America, brother. You You can watch my show anytime you want. All I do is have every different people from all different genres. I appreciate you commenting today. So if you can just share it, that'd be great. I don't want no money or nothing from nobody. All I just care is if we can share Marko's voice. Yeah, he is really cool, brother. I really appreciate him. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jasko.
What did you think, Steve? I love the guy.
Yeah, so I'm telling you, Don, I've been a fan of Marko. So I'm originally a fan of Jerome Hatch. So, you know, and then he fought Jerome and lost the first one. And you know, like Jerome really knocked him out. Like, and
The second fight. Yeah.
To come back and get up and come back and like a lot of fighters will get knocked out and not want to fight the same fighter. You know, when they want a rematch, it's like when it's a close fight, it goes the distance, and they think they won the fight. They're like, oh, I want a rematch. But when you get knocked down and knocked out, you don't want to fight that guy again. And he did. He did. He said, I want the fight again. So, you know, being a fan of Jerome, you know, I became a fan as well of Marko's. And, you know, I'm definitely going to tune in. I'm definitely going to. Don, tell us how people can watch this fight on November 9th, BYB 33.
Well, see, I know there's a couple ways. You know, there's BN Sports. There's also Fuse TV, but now over in the UK, they've created I believe bkbtv.com.
Yes.
And it's you can get the fight through that link. I do believe there might be a little bit of a charge on that. I think it's $9.99. I'm not sure. I'd have to check on that. Don't quote me on that. But there's Fuse TV, the Fight Channel or the Fight Network, BN Sports, and if you check BYB on either Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, they generally will send you, you know, a post out that says where you can watch the fight. They generally, if you sign up for their pages, they'll email you a way to get to the fight, and so they make it really easy for you to find the fights. I like the idea that, you know, this one's coming from Europe back to back because it gives us a bigger opportunity to see the vast amount of fighters that they have, not just here in the United States and around the world, but what we just acquired through BKB with Joe Brown and Jim Freeman Dove and all of them in Europe. I think the sport's going to grow. I think, you know, there are going to be some times where, you know, there's going to have to slow down, because when I was like, even with Jackson Wink, you know, you can only get so many fighters fights. And I think BYB is doing that right. I think they're taking their time, matching the best of the best and creating opportunities for those that deserve opportunities. And right now, I'll tell you what, you know, those that are getting opportunities are ones that have been consistent in this promotion. And I like that. Unlike other promotions, we fight our fighters 3-4 times a year. You know, where in some promotions, you're lucky if you get 2 fights a year, let alone 1. Yeah. So I love what they're doing. I love that they're expanding out. I love that they're creating a bigger name for BYB. You know, it's kind of different for me because I have been here from BKB and BYB from the correlation, and now they've all become one. But really, they've really truly have always been one because they're brothers in arms. And when you create deals like they did with Mike Vasquez, you know, it's from the heart. When you do a handshake deal from the heart, you know you're going to put your best interest in it. And so I'm excited because, as most people know, I came from the world of guerrilla boxing into mixed martial arts and Muay Thai and things of that nature. And it's kind of different that now I'm walking out my career in a non-glove sport, which is tremendous. And I like the premise of a lot of these promoters and matchmakers. You know, bare knuckle's not for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, so whether you are a world champion of boxing or an MMA or whatever it may be, when you come to BYB or any bare knuckle, you know, operation, I think it's great that they say, hey, wait a minute, this is a totally different genre. And especially with Mike, I think I love the premise that you got to start and work your way up because you're new. You may be, 20 fights in another sport, but this is bare knuckle, and you don't understand bare knuckle until you step into the Trigon. It's not something you can figure out over a damn screen or anything. So I like the way that they're doing that. I like the way that they're growing. I don't like 12 o'clock shows at 12 noon, but it's one for, later for you. But hey, you know what? If I can get Marko on 7 days a week, I do shows at 12 o'clock, 7 days a week. And, let me get to it right here because this really touched my heart. And I'll see if it's still on here. He says, I will, meaning telling Marko, and he says, you guys really do a great show. I think the show is because it's from just common talk. We're really just doing a phone call that exposes the fighter. We're not going to share anything that you already know. I mean, we may touch on it, but the best way to get knowledge is from the fighter and out of his mouth. Like when Marko disagreed with me, how many fighters would know that Marko didn't like the dirty clinch, that Marko's not going to let you get him in the dirty clinch? You wouldn't have known that unless you listened to today's show.
Yeah.
Some people would be, would you be upset that he just... See, that's the thing about freedom. You have the right to disagree with somebody, and I have to accept it because that's freedom of speech, and I agreed with him, but I didn't understand the nature of where he was coming from until he fully explained it. And then when you listen to him explain it, I respected him that much more for disagreeing with me. That was so dope.
Yeah. And if you were allowed to elbow, I'm sure he would like some dirty clinching. But you only can punch, so and he likes picking his punches better. So yeah, to each his own. And a lot of fighters. What's odd to me, Don, is that in the dirty clinch, some refs will break it up real quick, and some won't.
Bro, hold on. Marko's dad, Marko just hit me, and he said that his dad said that we're very good at what we do and we're very nice. And he said, thank you. Isn't that cool? I mean, see, that's why it's the original fighter's voice. I could care less if I got one like.
Yeah.
As long as that man walked away feeling like he got a great interview, that's really all that matters, bro. I love sharing their stories, and he impressed me today when he kind of got choked up a little bit about family.
Yeah.
And in this industry, sometimes it's really hard for us to see the softness and the genuine aspect of how a fighter feels about their family. But he had no qualms in sharing it. I gained so much more respect for Marko today, and I didn't think I could, but I really respect the guy, and he's humble and he's real. I think, and I didn't even realize, he brought it up and you brought it up, that he's been on the BYB roster longer than, like you guys said, longer than any other fighter on our roster.
Yep.
So that makes Jerome Hatch has to be like second or third behind there, because I know he's been around a while.
Yeah.
And then you could put Chad Kelly and them in there in that dynamic. See, it's beautiful when you can look back all the way that far back and still see that a promotion is utilizing the same fighters, and they're not only winning, they're succeeding.
Yeah.
And
there's like a list of up-teen UFC fighters that have tried bare knuckle and did not like it. They did not like, because you don't see them again. So it's not the boxers, for some reason, the boxers really pick it up better than the MMA guys for some reason, just because they're so used to the picking their shots, and the ones that are the animals, the boxers that are the die hard fighter, they love it. They love it.
Yeah. So I just want to put up one more comment, and I think it's so cool. Let me see where he put it now if I lost it. He did. Here we go. He says, "You are so kind with your questions. Your friend, Oscar." Uh, that's what, man, Steve's my brother. Steve does a great show, and I love sharing his show. It's much bigger than mine. He does a lot more in the industry and what he does. But you got to go check out the Fighting News. I'm gonna let Steve tell you how to do that. But Steve, it's an honor because people don't understand. I'm not in the greatest health. I'm not feeling tremendous, but you are a true brother, and for you to come help me time and time again, you're the one. You're the only one that's offered, bro.
Anytime, Don. Anytime. I've been doing this quite some time. The Fighting News over 15 years. And back in the day, I would watch boxing events with my friends and my dad. I'm beginning to watch a fight that's coming up in November, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, and the memories that keep coming flashing back in my head about Mike Tyson. We used to always bet what second of the first round Mike Tyson was going to knock the guy out. It was always, I got 57 seconds of the first, and we'd always bet about it. And, I'm reading about the fight, and Mike Tyson in the contract is going to have a incentive not to knock him out.
Yeah.
He gets paid more if it lasts
Longer.
Longer. So I'm like, oh, come on. I want to see Mike Tyson at his best. And at his best is nothing like that. Like, just think in the back of your head, this punch can knock him out, but, I'm not going to make $5 million if I do. It hinders the event a little bit.
Well, to be honest with you, here, let me get this out of the way. Marko says, thank you, brothers, to host me. Can't wait for the next one. You know what, brother? Thank you. We enjoyed your interview thoroughly. I can speak for myself, but Steve, what would you like to say to Marko?
No, I wish him luck, in the next fight, because this is probably, I'm not a fighter, so I don't know if it's going to be his hardest yet, but on paper, this is a really good, hard fight for both of them.
Hey, all I know, Marko, is we're going to be finished here in about 1 minute. And only thing I ask from you is just share this so the people of your homeland, the people of the United Kingdom and Wales and all over the world can understand and realize what we see in you and why we appreciate you and why we support you. You know what, Steve? If there's anything you'd like to add about the Fighting News or anybody that sponsors you or anything you got going on, brother, the floor is yours.
The Fighting News, follow on all the platforms. YouTube, The Fighting News. We do a lot of interviews with fighters, a lot of local Florida boxing events, all the local boxing companies. Don King, he's 92 years old. And he's still throwing boxing events down here in South Florida. So shout out to Don King. And the Fighting News on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, Twitter. We support the fighters. So we have a lot of Florida fighters down here that we support. We do banners for them, we do shirts for them, we do their gear. And the Fighting News, we get involved with the local talent. Teofimo Lopez, we've seen him in the amateurs here in Florida, and now he's like a superstar. He's made it, and there's a lot of fighters like that in South Florida. Charles Rosa is another. He was the ranked #1 amateur in the United States for MMA in his weight class, and I've seen him go to the UFC. And it's just, that's why I do it, because it's, supporting the superstars, future superstars of America. You know, we do the we support, we sponsor the co-sponsor the Florida Golden Gloves, which is, you know, a national event, but the one in Florida we sponsor, because this is future superstars of America. You know, the young boxing enthusiast kids that want to be boxers. You know, come out and try to win a Golden Glove like all the you know, superstars in boxing have. You know, like I see Riddick Bowe have his Golden Glove. Big Daddy, not Riddick Bowe, Big Daddy, what's his name? Big Daddy.
Well, you got Riddick Bowe, and then you got, I know who you're talking about, but I can't think of his name right now.
Bowe.
Yeah, Riddick Bowe.
Not Riddick Bowe, you know, with Golden Gloves, and a lot of the boxers wear the Golden Gloves around their neck, and it's like a huge accomplishment. So, you know, we sponsor that, and, you know, the fighting news, I love it, Don, you know, so any kind of someone fighting that gets hit, you know, I like showing up. The fighting news likes to be there. If someone's getting hit, we're there for sure.
You know, I love the fighting news, and if you even like my format or whatever, you're going to find a much diverse format on the fighting news. Like I said, I love my brother. I share my brother. I don't fear my brother. You know, I think if we all come together as one, we can create a better world as one. You know, there shouldn't be any ego, theatrics, or anything in life. We all should just eat at the same table, eat the same bread, and we all will gain from that. You know, just sitting here doing this show, at the end of the show, the one and only Mr. Mike Vasquez, you know, wished me a wonderful weekend and a great day. And that's just exemplifies what this company is about. From the owner to the man that puts the stand in the truck. There is no ego at BYB. BYB is family. From the owner to Jose Fernandez, the GOAT. But, you know, it makes me feel tremendous when the people that are at the very top of an industry and an organization and promotion take the time.
Jose.
Yeah, Jose's the crap, but you know what? Mike really did, you know, and it's nice to be able to have that type of communication, you know, because you know as well as I do, you've worked for many promotions just like I have. Ouch. That doesn't happen, you know, so for that to happen, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. But brother, I want to thank you so much.
Thank
To all my listeners, go follow the Fighting News on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, X, wherever they may be. You won't miss out on a fight. You won't miss out on an interview between us two. We're changing the world. With that being said, y'all have a good day, and God bless. Steve, you got anything?
God bless.
All righty. We're out of here.